Well, it's official. Pumpkin season is here, which means it's time for lots of different fall crafts. So I thought today I'd show you how to make this beautiful leather and cowhide pumpkin. Super easy to do. And I made the pumpkin using a Dollar Tree pumpkin. Hello, my crafty friends. Like I said in the beginning, I'm going to show you how to make a rustic pumpkin using a Dollar Tree foam pumpkin. You can use the larger one, or you could use pretty much any size pumpkin you want, but I'm going to use this one because I really like the ridges of the pumpkin. Now, I don't know where I got this cow print vinyl, but this stuff is awesome. I'm going to try to find something similar because not only do I want to share it with you, I want to remake this pumpkin. And I want to measure off and know exactly how much of this material I'm going to be using. So even if you don't have a measuring tape, you can use something like this, a piece of yarn, to measure off the fabric or whatever it is that you're cutting so you don't waste it. I don't have a lot of this material, so I really want to make sure I utilize it and only use what I need. So once I measured it, I cut it down into strips. And I don't want to have to cut this once it's on the pumpkin. So I went ahead and cut the corners off the top and the bottom, like the length of the material, because I don't want to have to do it when I've got it on the pumpkin. I also rounded out the sides of the material a little bit as well. I've already got a pattern or a template because I'm using one of the pieces of material, and I'm just going to cut the rest of the material like I did with the first section. And you can see I don't have a lot of this, so I was hoping I would be able to cover the entire pumpkin with this cow print, but unfortunately I don't have enough. I'm going to play around with the material that I do have and see what this will look like. Look at how cute this would be if I could do the entire pumpkin in this vinyl. It's so pretty. But unfortunately, I don't have enough. So what I'm going to do is take this fake leather that I got at Hobby Lobby. And I think right now their fabric is on sale. So this would be on sale if you were to buy it. And I will leave a link to this material down in the description box as well. But this stuff is really nice. It totally looks like leather. And I think this will make a nice accent for my pumpkin. So I'm doing the same thing. I'm just cutting strips of the material. And I'm going to do the same process of where I cut the corners off on either long end of the material, and then I'm going to round out the center. That will make it easier for placing it onto the pumpkin. Now, if you're going to be doing this project, this silicone little spatula, this thing is awesome, and it's so helpful when you're working with hot glue and you don't want to burn your fingers. And I think I'm going to start with the leather material first. So I'm going to use a little bit of hot glue and basically paint it on like a triangle on one end of the fabric. And then I'm just going to secure it to the pumpkin. Now with this leather material, it's really nice because it does have a little bit of play with it, so you can pull on it and get a really nice smooth surface. And just by smoothing it down when the glue is still hot, it's nice and smooth on the section that I'm working on. Now, when I'm covering pumpkins like this, I like to keep everything equal. So if I do one section on one side of the pumpkin, I'm going to come back and do the section exactly opposite of that first piece of material. And I just repeated the same steps that I did on that first piece. Now this is going to sound silly, and it might be because I'm hungry, but when I'm looking at this pumpkin with that material on it, it almost looks like it's a bundt cake. I don't know. To me, it looks like a bundt cake. I don't want to make you watch the entire process, so you can see I've got 4 pieces of that leather material on the pumpkin. So now I'm going to come back and I'm going to go the open areas, the larger sections, I'm going to use that cow print material. And the process is the same. I'm going to put the hot glue on that top corner, almost like a triangle, and then I'm going to secure the material in place on the pumpkin. I find it easiest to start at one side, then do the middle section, and then do the bottom sections when I'm securing the material. It makes it a lot easier because you're only doing a portion of the section at one time, and you can pull that fabric down so that it's nice and smooth. I find it best to do the little sections because if you get in a hurry, like I tend to do, it just doesn't seem to turn out as well, and it looks a little bit sloppy. Once I'm done with that, you can see I've got the 4 sections of the leather material and the 4 sections of the cow print. And I have these other pieces left over of the brown leather material. So what I'm going to do is fold over the long sides and hot glue that down. I'll hot glue one side down and then I'll come back and hot glue the other side. So that's going to give me a nice clean edge, and it looks like it's stitched even though it's not, because I am definitely not a seamstress. And to me, using the hot glue works just as well, and the end result is definitely worth it. So here's my pumpkin, and you can see there's some little spaces in between all of the material that I already put down. So now this is where I'm going to take the thinner strips of the leather material, and I'm going to secure those on every single seam in between the dark leather material and the cow print. So for this, I'm just putting hot glue on the thinner strip, and I'll secure it to the top and then pull it down in between the seam. So this way you won't see any edge between the leather and the cow print. And I do the same process. I secure the top, then I do a little bit of the middle, and then I come down and secure the bottom piece to the bottom of the pumpkin. And I'm just going to repeat this process all the way around the pumpkin. So in between every piece of material, the big round pieces, I'm going to have a thinner strip of the leather. And this is what it looks like when you're all done attaching the fabric to the pumpkin. Look at how cute this is. I am so excited about this pumpkin. This is just so pretty. And for my pumpkin stem, I'm going to use one of these. I think it's a drawer pull. I don't even remember where I got it, but I want to give it an aged look. I don't want it to be just the wood. So I'm going to use a little bit of distressing ink, and I'm literally going to paint the distressing ink on that knob. Now, if you don't have distressing ink, you could paint it, you could stain it, you could use a stick from your yard or a pumpkin stem as well. It all depends on what kind of look you like. For me, I thought this would look really pretty. And actually, when you see the end, I'm hoping you feel the same way. Then I used a little bit of hot glue on the bottom of the drawer pull and secured it in place on the top of my pumpkin. Look at how pretty that is. Oh my gosh, that is just so pretty. This is the pumpkin all done. I didn't add any embellishments to the top because I thought this looked so pretty just like it is. I love how this pumpkin turned out. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you make a cow print pumpkin for yourself this year. I've never seen a pumpkin done like this, and I am just literally so tickled with how it turned out. I think it's beautiful, and it definitely looks like something you would find in a high-end store. And if you enjoyed this video, I would be so grateful if you would click that subscribe button. And if you click the bell notification, you can set up the alerts to know when I have new videos coming out. I've got a lot more pumpkin crafts and Dollar Tree crafts for fall that I want to share with you, and I don't want you to miss any of them. So hit that notification so you know when these videos are coming out. Thanks so much for watching, and keep on crafting.